Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good.
After 2 seasons of Project Youth Bikes, I've decided I want to do something new. So those last 2 seasons, I was kind of emulating Roadkill or like the cheap car challenges on Top Gear. This time, I want to emulate something different. I'm going to take my inspiration from Tank Workshop Diaries from the Tank Museum at Bovington. Really cool place, and I just got into that series and I love it. So what I want to do with this is take the bikes like this that we're working on at Cyclepath and giving you some insights as to how life in the back of the shop is, how we do things, why we do things, and showing you some of the cooler bikes that we're working on.
So, hey guys, it's one of the mechanics over here at Cyclepath. My name's Alex. In short, this frame got tossed over as a donation bike to me because last year it kind of snapped my frame. I kind of ride hard. I use my frames a little bit too much. That's why I kind of like today's goal for this bike right over here is to swap over the tires. I'd love to swap over my wheels, but unfortunately I just toasted these last year with the amount of like this abuse and like riding that I put through these. Swap over the handlebars, kind of get the bike a little bit more fitted to me because I'm really lanky and tall, and hopefully this is going to be a nice little build.
I just want to take a moment to talk about the history of this bike. If you've watched my channel for a while, you've probably seen it before. This bike was actually featured in an older video. It was Nash's BMX bike, Nash, the photographer of Boss Culture. This was his daily ride, and he ended up donating it to the JLE movement. Now, to my understanding, what happened was the student who got this bike absolutely loved it, but their parents found out this one has no brakes. And unfortunately, the previous owner before Nash cut the brake mounts off this frame. So there's really no way to mount a good brake on it. So it's been returned to us. We upgraded that student to a mountain bike, and now we're free to do whatever we want with this one. So you're probably hearing some clunking noises coming from just off camera. Alex is right now actually, earning his paycheck here at Cyclepath. He's building a bike for the showroom floor. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I'm just getting this as set up as possible. Oh man, that tire was way tighter than the other one.
Just wait for this new tire to be put on B.
This one is still in fairly good condition, so we're definitely going to save this. So these are our tires of choice, the Eclat Mirage folding tire. These are, in both of our opinions, the single best tire in BMX. No matter what discipline you do, they're grippy enough that you can do racing if you wanted on them. They're smooth enough and light enough for flatland, they're strong enough for street. They're pretty much the perfect one tire for everything. These are fantastic. Before these came out, I would have said probably Maxxis Grifter was the best overall choice, but oh yeah, these just set the bar so high. So what do we got here?
We just got a Norco XFR, just one of the higher end models. It's got one by Dior. It's pretty nice. It's basically the quintessential urban hybrid that you would want for kind of like downtown Mississauga, for say where the shop's located, right? It's one of the most ideal bikes for the city. You can kind of go down a little bit of trails. You can basically ride everything except World Cup downhill tracks on this bike. So if you're just a normal person that wants a nice bike, just give it a few minutes to take the packaging off, and we'll get you sorted out in a little bit.
Ooh, head tube badge.
Beautiful color, beautiful color.
Yeah, that copper and gold's a really nice combination.
A little sneak peek right over here. A little sneak peek.
Oh, that's very pretty. Oh, that's a nice look. Internal cable routing and everything.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Can't go wrong with this, can't go wrong.
That is quite a bike.
There she is.
Alright, so, gonna install some tires now. Like I said, these are the Mirage. Probably the best tire in the BMX industry, definitely my favorite. So, installing tight tires like this, people often struggle, pinch inner tubes with the tire levers, but there is a reasonable trick to this. So, just for aesthetic's sake and to make future repairs easier, I find the valve hole, I'm going to line that up with the most visible logo. And the goal is to try and push everything on by hand. You're trying to twist over like that more so than anything else. And bracing it against your legs on your lap is generally the easiest way. You're kind of using this part of your palm to kind of roll and tuck it over the edge of the metal braking surface there. Once we have an inner tube, pull that back and over, slide that down and in, flip that over, and you can just tuck the inner tube into the tire and repeat that rolling trick. And the tires usually go on pretty easy. You might have to let a little bit of air out of the inner tube if it's a bit too stiff to get the tire on, but pretty easy overall. And generally I find when you don't use tools, you don't use a tire lever, you just use your hands, you almost never pinch the beads or damage anything. And there we go, just pops on. We have tire.
I'm so gone. No, I'm never turning back. I won't stop, I'll fight until there's nothing left.
Beautiful.
You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. You were great, got your map. When I hate, I attack.
I'm just checking the tire is perfectly seated, there's nothing bulging out. Again, benefit of these higher end tires, they're pretty much always perfectly seated. And for getting the chain tension, there's some tricks here as well. So, if you have the bike mounted, you just kind of pull the wheel back with one hand. You kind of go on there and get one side tightened, not super tight, but just kind of to a baseline. And just snug, so the wheel's not going anywhere. And then you can use the dropout to pull the wheel side to side to get it perfectly straight and make sure you have a good chain tension. So right now our chain tension's pretty decent. So I'm going to feel that the wheel's pretty straight there. You can feel there's more pressure on this side, so I'm going to put a bit of a pull on the wheel to bring it towards me. Tighten that side down, and then our wheel's going to be centered and it's going to have good chain tension.
I always give it 100, don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing, I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me.
Alright, so Alex moved over the bars and stem on his BMX bike. I finished up with the tires. We're going to go outside and give it a try.
This actually feels great.
Well, let me give her a go.
Go for it, man.
Here, film this.
You did the work anyways. You got.
Okay. So, I think you're still filming. I didn't stop it.
Yeah, it's still going.
Time to embarrass myself. I'm not amazing on BMX in the first place, and this one has no brakes, but I'm gonna try it. Because I'm actually less injured than Alex for once. This is
Wow.
an extreme thing for me. I like it. That's nice. These old We the Peoples feel really good. They're not the lightest bikes in the world. It's a little on the heavy side, but they're so smooth. The geometry's just right. Yeah. Now I'm just chilling outside the shop, hoping there's not too much wind noise. I actually haven't played with this camera outdoors much. But yeah, this one is Tony's project bike. It is significantly after 6 p.m. when we close. So I actually took the bike home and basically just coming back here to meet Tony, who's taking the bus down from Malton. That is quite a distance where he lives. And yeah, man needs his bike. Yeah, this thing started life as a very basic Supercycle mountain bike, and Tony has managed to turn it into honestly pretty impressive looking wheelie bike. So he did basically all the purple and blue on it and turned it into a single, well, not a single speed, but like a single chainring up front. So that's some of his work. The covers, the purple and blue on the spokes, that's his work as well. And then the grip covers and grips themselves. He also did a custom bar and stem on there. Now, when I took this bike, I couldn't resist adding a few extra accessories, so things like the stem pad, like old 80s BMX style, and hanging a bottle opener. Like, Tony's too young to drink, but that's still literally just for style points, because I think it looks cool, and Holly Lambert Cycles. You know, it's kind of the biggest distributor for just normal everyday bike parts in Canada. Yeah, this thing's great. Though that said, as much as it looks really cool and it rides really nice, it's not flawless. So that's not the original fork. It's pretty much the same as the original fork, but you know, the original wore out super fast and had to be replaced. This one, it's not very old, but it's already on its last legs. It rattles and shakes. It has like a noticeable amount of play in it and like knock when you ride. The other big flaw of this bike, this is really common with department store bikes. I'm going to line this up so you can actually see it, but the bottom bracket shell, kind of right there. I don't know if you can see there's a bit of a gap on that side. There's no gap on that side. It's because a lot of the time these cheap, malleable steel cups are cross-threaded from the factory because they just install them with an air gun and just ugga-dugga-dugga them into place. And yeah, sometimes they get cross-threaded. When that happens, there's really no way to take them out without destroying the frame and all the threads in the frame. So we're kind of left with that as it is. The problem with this is no matter how much you work on the bottom bracket, it's always going to have a little bit of wiggle to it. So you tighten it up, pedal it once, and it goes right back to having that few millimeters of wiggle. You don't feel it when you're riding, but knowing it's there really bugs me as a bike mechanic.
What's good? Leg through the frame.
Yo, that's how I've been trying to learn now.
Oh! That's nuts, man. Tristan's just too nuts, man. There we go. That's my thumbnail right there. All right, take it easy, guys.